quiet of the cove.
My name is Sarah Baikie. My maiden name was Oliver. I was born in Rocky Cove on the north coast of Labrador. Rocky Cove was our winter place and Rigolet Island our summer place. I was 2 years old when my mother died. My grandmother was the only mother I knew. I lived out on the land until I was 17 years old. I never went to school because my grandmother kept my sister and I home to help her with the work. We always had to help with the work since we were very young. We also set our own weasel and squirrel traps, and also rabbit snares. We wasn't allowed to use a gun because we were too young. Later years, we could use the gun and go hunting. Another thing we did was pick grass for our grass sowing. Grass sowing was in our family for 4 or 5 generations before I was born. I had 4 brothers and 2 sisters. 2 of my brothers and 1 sister died at birth. My oldest brother lived with our uncle. Things have changed so much since I was growing up. My dad and brothers were trappers and fishermen. Dog team was the only way to get around in the winter. I can still picture Dad returning from Rigolet with the Comet loaded with supplies. Belinda and I would be so excited when we saw him coming. We would be out standing by the door. When the lead dog would reach us, we would run around to the back of the house. In doing this, they would pull the Comet right up to the door. And while Daddy and Curtis carried all the supplies in the house, Belinda and I would unharness the dogs and take them out to their chains and chain them on. Dad always had a motorboat ever since I could remember, a rowboat for rowing to the nets. I can remember when he got his first outboard motor. It was a 3 horsepower. That made it so much easier for him going to his nets. Dad always built his own rowboats as well as boats for other people. We spent our summers on Rigolet Island. We were the only family on the island. Back then, we thought of it as our island. We would go down to Rocky Cove in September and come back up to the island in June. There was lots of salmon, codfish, and capelin when I was a child. We would sell barrels of capelin and dry them for the winter, as well as codfish. Also, we would sell salmon. My dad worked really hard at his salmon nets. He spent hours switching them. When I go down to the island, I can still see Dad coming ashore from his nets. Everyone worked very hard back then, but we also had lots of fun times, like going to the square dances. And all the young girls would curl their hair to take part in at the dance. I moved to Rigolet on September the 22nd, 1967. And October the 16th, 69, I married Sarah Baikie, and we had 3 girls. We lost our oldest daughter on December the 1st, 94. I still do grass work. Yes, things have really changed, not only the way of life, but the price of things as well. My mother made a grass tabletop and was paid $5. My first set of mats I made was 25 cents each. You would never make just one mat back then. You had to make a set of 4, 6, or 8. I'm very proud to say my girls know how to sew grass. Yes, things have changed so much. I just hope there will still be lots of ice and snow to travel on when my grandchildren are all grown up.
Just to wake up in the morning to the quiet of the cove and hear Aunt Bessie talking to herself, and to hear poor Uncle John mumbling wishes to old Nell. made me feel like everything was fine. I was born down by the water, it's here I'm gonna stay. I've searched for all the reasons why I should go away, but I haven't got the thirst for all those modern day toys, so I'll just take my chances with those saltwater joys. Following the little brook as it trickles to the shore in the autumn when the trees are flaming red, kicking leaves that fall around me, watching sunsets paint the hills. It's all I'll ever need to feel at home. This island that we cling to has been handed down with pride by folks who fought to live here, taking hardships all in stride. So I'll compliment her beauty, hold on to my goodbyes, and I'll stay and take my chances with those saltwater joys. How can I leave those mornings with the sunrise on the cove and the gulls like flies surrounding Clayton's Wharf? Platter's Island wrapped in a rainbow in the evening after fog. The ocean smells are perfume to my soul. Some go to where the buildings reach to meet the clouds, where warm and gentle people turn to swarming faceless crowds. So I'll do without their riches, glamour and the noise, and I'll stay and take my chances with those saltwater joys. Some go to where the buildings reach to meet the clouds, where warm and gentle people turn to swarming faceless crowds. So I'll do without their riches, glamour and the noise, and I'll stay and take my chances with those saltwater joys.